Mobius, 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 Mobius.
And as you know, it's something that we just use to find out whether a surface we're building is true level to the horizon or true plumb 90 degrees to the horizon. Set it horizontally against the wall, and if it has a consistent error in it or flaw with it at any given point in time, you could be building everything slightly off level or slightly off plumb. It's true level to the horizon, and all I'm gonna do is take my level, set it horizontally against the wall so I can read the gauge, make sure the bubble is directly between your two gauge lines. Then I'll place a little tick mark at the center of my bubble vial. Now go out to each end of the tool, maybe 2 or 3 inches away from the end, and with your pencil, draw or scribe a straight line along the top, then go to the other end and do the same thing. So I got my 3 marks in place, a little center tick, and then my 2 lines out at the ends.
How do I know if my level is still accurate? What I'm gonna do today is give you a simple field test, how you can check it for level and plumb. Let's get started. The first vial we're gonna check is the center vial. We're gonna check it for level. What I want you to do is establish one solid control line along the frame of the level. Center your vial perfectly between equal distance of the lines. Make one continuous control line all the way through. This states the level's accurate in plumb and level. It's that simple.
And today I want to quickly and inexpensively show you how to find the elevation change in your yard, or just give you a line for this level. So I'm going to walk you through an example where I'm trying to find the elevation change to make sure the corrugated drainage line will have to slope feed it so the water can flow away from the house. And just some straight, but you get anything through the soil, and a line bubble level. Keeping tension on the line, we'll walk out to our second stake and then secure the line level between the two. And we should be good. And now you can see I have a nice level line as indicated by the bubble level. So that's going to give me at least 12 inches of elevation change between those 2 stakes, which is plenty for the slope that I need to carry in the drainage part.
String is one of the simplest tools in my toolbox. How tight should a string be? The answer to that is as tight as you can make it without pulling your nail loose, without pulling your batter board over. They need to be tight. And a string that's not straight is worse than no string at all, because you're assuming it's straight and you're building to an incorrect line.
So we're going to do this the old-fashioned way. If you look behind me here, you can see that, I think you can see it in this camera here, there's some water, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's probably a foot deep over there. And then if you look around over here, we've got some water right down in that area too, along the fence line. Now I would like to direct all that water around this big raised up area of land all the way down to that area right now, but my concern is this area right over here that I'm pointing out lower than the area over here? What we do is put those 2 T-posts in the ground and then measure with a tape measure from the bottom of the T-post. You can figure this out with one hand. Alright. So I'm going to go down at the base of the T-post, and I've got both T-posts pounded in right at the edge of the top of the water there. So I'm going to measure up, and I measured up on both of them to, it's just an arbitrary number, 41 inches, and that's where I have my line attached, right at the 41-inch height. Then I went and did the same thing down there. I put a T-post in and measured 41 inches up from the water line and attached the line to that end. I pulled this line super tight. I mean, it is really tight, but because there's obviously a little bit of weight to that line, I think no matter how tight you pull it, you're gonna get just a touch of bowing to it. I mean, it's pretty straight, you may not even be able to pick it out. I can hardly with my naked eye. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty straight, but there's always going to be a hair of a sag in it just because there is weight to it. So what we'll do next is run out there to the middle of the line to make it as accurate as possible and grab our level and see where we're at. So now that I've measured that distance, I've got an inch gap between the top of the level and the string on this end over here. And so I know that for every 4 foot, this level is 4 foot long, so I know that for every 4 foot of distance, I drop 1 inch going the way I want it to where I want to direct the water. So I've got, let's see, 132 feet from one stake to the other out there. So then all we do is just divide that by 4. I've got 2 3/4 feet drop in elevation, so I can actually run all of that water over there all the way down to the other end. It is on the other side of the property where I don't really have anything going on anyway. It's because it is 2.75 feet lower down on that end. All I'll have to do is direct the flow of water, and I'll be able to eliminate all of this from this side of the property where my gardens, my hoop house, and everything else is.
Hey Rinkers, one of the first questions when we talk about building a rink is, how level is your yard? So way number 1, which is the more simplistic way, theoretically, is using a line level. I will go over this in a minute, but brief summary is we're going to string around this 20 by 46 standard rink, and then we're going to get every section of the line perfectly level. How to use a string level. Setup is important. So here I have 6 stakes laid out, and I labeled them. This stake here is labeled stake number 1. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put a little loop here, and I'm going to set that loop at 4 inches. There's a good reason why it's 4 inches, because if I'm right, we're going to be looking at water level. I'm giving Matt the line level, and I'm going to get started to stake number 2.
Consider your first point fixed, and the second point is what you adjust. When the bubble is to the left like that, you want to lower your point. Yeah, right there. So you want the string tight and the level after it settles down to be in the middle. And having a taut string will help with the settling. Alright, now we got a nice bubble in the center between the 2 lines. As it settles down here, you can tell it's right on center.
As long as you could do a straight line, do the whole ring. This point and point number 1 are at the same level. Now we're going to point number 3.
And we do the last measurement, it'll really be a check, because if the last one's level and the first point is the same as the last point, then it's redundant. We got to check.
Here you have it. This string represents the grade and the water level. So real quick, right here we have 4.5 inches. And then if we go to the deepest part here, you'll have 17 inches. Because I have 4 there, that means 4 inches of water and 17 inches of water. You can build a ring. Since you already know the level, you just need to match to the water level. that's it, guys. There's your rink. There's your water level. Place your string level straight in the middle of each string stretch. Make sure your string is taut. And when you're all done, make sure there's no bumps and humps by checking the diagonals.
The block wall that's going in around this property is a pretty serious piece of work. It's 1,400 feet long. Think about that. It's 8 feet high. That's a lot of square feet of block.